The Atlantic Ocean, 1943. A German U-boat explodes beneath the waves, torn apart by Allied depth charges. 47 men are suddenly plunged into freezing water, surrounded by burning oil and twisted metal. They cling to whatever debris they can find. Broken planks, shattered life rafts, anything that floats. The water is so cold it feels like knives stabbing into their skin. Some men are already screaming, but their voices are swallowed by the roar of the ocean. 19 hours. That's how long they would have to survive in this liquid hell. And what happens next would force an American captain to make an impossible choice, one that could cost him everything. Lieutenant Commander Werner Hartmann grabs onto a piece of wreckage, his fingers already numb. Around him, his crewmates are struggling, some injured, some barely conscious. The youngest sailor, just 17 years old, is crying for his mother. Another man's leg is shattered, bone visible through torn flesh. They're the enemy, yes, but right now they're just human beings fighting for their lives. The sun beats down mercilessly during the day, blistering their salt-covered skin. When night falls, the temperature drops so drastically that hypothermia begins claiming the weakest among them. One by one, men slip beneath the surface, too exhausted to keep fighting. Hartmann tries to keep spirits up, tries to keep them awake, tries to keep them alive. But he knows the truth. Without rescue, they're all going to die out here. Then, on the horizon, a silhouette appears. An American destroyer. The USS Bori. The German sailors begin shouting, waving their arms desperately. Hope floods through them like electricity. They're going to be saved. They have to be saved. But there's a problem. A massive, terrifying problem. The standing orders for American naval vessels are crystal clear. Do not stop to pick up enemy survivors. The reasoning is cold, calculated, strategic. Stopping makes you vulnerable. Stopping makes you a target for other U-boats lurking beneath the waves. Stopping could get your entire crew killed. The orders are absolute. No exceptions. On the bridge of the USS Bori, Captain Charles Hutchins stares through his binoculars at the desperate men in the water. He can see their faces. He can see their suffering. His executive officer stands beside him, already knowing what the captain is thinking. "Sir, the orders are clear. We cannot stop. It's too dangerous. There could be other U-boats in the area." Hutchins lowers his binoculars. His jaw tightens. He's fought in this war for years. He's seen friends die. He's dropped the depth charges himself that sent enemy vessels to the bottom. These men in the water, they were trying to kill him and his crew just hours ago. By every rule of war, by every order from command, he should sail right past them. Let the ocean finish what the battle started. But something inside him won't let him do it. He thinks about his own crew. If they were the ones in the water, would he want an enemy captain to leave them to die? He thinks about what kind of man he wants to be when this war finally ends. He thinks about the line between soldier and human being, and where that line should be drawn. His hand grips the railing so hard his knuckles turn white. The executive officer speaks again, more urgently this time. "Captain, if we stop, we're sitting ducks. One torpedo and we all go down. We have our own men to think about." Hutchins knows he's right. Every moment they spend rescuing these Germans is a moment they're vulnerable. But he also knows something else, something that transcends orders and regulations and military protocol. "All stop," Hutchins commands. The bridge goes silent. The crew looks at him like he's lost his mind. "Sir?" the executive officer says, his voice almost a whisper. Hutchins turns to face his men. "I said all stop. Prepare to bring survivors aboard. And I want lookouts scanning for submarines every second we're stationary. If anyone has a problem with this order, they can take it up with me after we're done." The destroyer slows, then stops, rolling gently in the Atlantic swells. In the water, the German survivors can't believe what they're seeing. The enemy ship is stopping. For them, tears stream down faces already soaked with seawater. The American crew throws down ropes and cargo nets. They pull the Germans aboard one by one, these men who hours ago were trying to kill them. The young 17-year-old sailor comes up first, barely conscious. An American medic wraps him in blankets, gives him water, treats him like he would any other patient. The man with the shattered leg is carefully lifted aboard on a stretcher. Lieutenant Commander Hartmann is one of the last to be rescued, refusing to leave until his men are safe. When he finally climbs onto the deck, he collapses. Captain Hutchins is there looking down at him. For a moment, their eyes meet. Enemy and enemy, but also sailor and sailor, survivor and rescuer, human and human. 47 men are pulled from the water. 47 men who should have died. The entire time, the crew maintains vigilant watch for submarines. Every minute feels like an hour. If a U-boat is watching, waiting, they're all dead. But no attack comes. When the last survivor is aboard, Hutchins orders the ship to resume course. His decision violated direct orders. He could face court-martial. He could lose his command. He could be branded a traitor for showing mercy to the enemy. But he knows, in the deepest part of his soul, that he made the right choice. When word reached the Allied command, there was fury. There were demands for his removal. But there was also something else, a growing wave of support. Other captains spoke up, saying they would have done the same. The press got hold of the story, and suddenly Captain Hutchins became a symbol of humanity in the midst of horror. The official reprimand was quiet, almost whispered, and Captain Hutchins kept his command. After the war, Lieutenant Commander Hartmann tracked him down. They met in a small cafe in New York. Hartmann, tears in his eyes, shook the hand of the man who saved his life. "You could have left us to die," he said. "It would have been easier. It would have been safer." Hutchins smiled. "Maybe, but I wouldn't have been able to live with myself." 19 hours in freezing water. One impossible choice, and a reminder that even in the darkest moments of human conflict, compassion can still break through. Sometimes the bravest thing a soldier can do isn't following orders.